With CBS Sports draft expert Chris Trapasso, and we're moving along to two big-bodied wide receivers. The Bills addressing that position maybe a little later than some people had thought they would over the course of the draft, but in the end, they get some guys that I know, Chris, you have rated pretty highly on your final big board. What are your thoughts on both Gabriel Davis and Isaiah Hodgins?
Yeah, this sticks with the theme for the Bills of that they got so much good value in this draft that Gabriel Davis was my number 11 wide receiver in this draft class, and the Bills got him as the 17th wide receiver off the board. And for as much as we've seen the Bills made a ton of wide receiver acquisitions over the past 2 seasons, we know that they don't have a lot of size at that position. Gabriel Davis, 6'2", 217 pounds, was an awesome vertical threat over the past 3 seasons at UCF and increased his reception and yardage figures all 3 years, ended with 12 touchdowns. Very good beating press at the line, and awesome tracking the football down the field. He's certainly not going to have to play a lot as a rookie. He's only 21 years old, so this is a great long-term depth option at wide receiver for Buffalo.
And Hodgins is a guy I remember you bringing up before we even went to the combine and we discussed it. And he's someone that they get in the 6th round.
Yeah, he was my 10th wide receiver off the board, and he was actually the 30th wide receiver selected. So talk about value. That's Isaiah Hodgins. He's someone, I talked about it with Gabriel Davis, increased his reception total by 20 or more receptions all 3 of his seasons at Oregon State, had 13 touchdowns as a senior, 6'4", 210 pounds. He's got a big frame. He knows how to use it. I said throughout the entire pre-draft process, after T. Higgins, Isaiah Hodgins had the largest catch radius and the most reliable hands of any receiver in this draft class.
Now, people are going to look at them and say, big-bodied wide receiver, all they really can do is be that guy you throw the ball up to. It sounds like that's not the case. What do both of these guys project maybe beyond just that type of a role?
Well, they're both downfield threats, but in a non-traditional sense, because I think we believe that those have to be speed receivers, and neither of these guys are going to run by every cornerback in the league. But because of their ball tracking ability, and especially for Hodgins, how he can high point the football, he's always open over his head 2 feet or more because of how long and how big his catch radius is. With Gabriel Davis, you get the ability to beat press coverage at the line, and that's usually a big hurdle that rookies need to get over. With Isaiah Hodgins, he ran more routes at Oregon State and can get open at the intermediate level too. So these are not completely raw wide receivers, and they'll get to learn from Stephon Diggs and John Brown about the nuances of playing the position.
It certainly will be interesting because these two, I like the picks just like you, but they are entering an incredibly crowded Bills wide receiver room. I tweeted it out when the picks were made. This maybe does not bode well for the future of someone like Duke Williams. We're going to talk Jake Fromm tomorrow, but for now, with CBS Sports draft expert Chris Trapasso, I'm